Good afternoon, students. Today I am going to start the topic foundation settlement. I have covered two units. Number one, unit one, stability of slopes, in which two units came in mid semester examination. In stability of slopes, we have covered uh, stability analysis of infinite slopes for C type soil, phi type soil, and C5 type soil. After that, we have covered slope stability analysis for finite slopes, in which you can go through Bishop analysis, Swedish analysis, friction circle method, and Taylor stability number. And you can also cover the cases of rapid slowdown, sudden drawdown, and steady seepage condition. And at the end, you have to go through certain slope stabilization techniques. I have also asked a question, and so after covering the theory part from any book like Venkat Ramaiah, P.C. Punamiya, you can solve certain problems of slope stability which have previously came in GATE examination and engineering services examination. You will get the idea what is the level of question, how they try to formulate the question through this chapter in competitive exams. Also, you should try to, now you should be in position to revise the geotechnical engineering one portion, because you will not be able to solve numerical problem easily if you have forgotten all the formulas and all the concepts related to geotechnical engineering 1. Once you have to remember, recall all those formula and try to solve these things, because in GATE examination as well as in engineering services examination, the weightage of this subject geotechnical engineering is quite handsome. So in unit 2 is subcategorized into two parts. Number 1 is bearing capacity and number 2 is vertical stresses. In bearing capacity, first of all, we have discussed the analytical method to determine the bearing capacity. That is actually we have also gone through certain basic notations like net bearing pressure, gross bearing pressure, and all those things, general shear failure criteria, local shear failure criteria, punching shear failure criteria. After that, we have gone through Terzaghi analysis, Brinch-Hansen analysis, Basic, Meyerhoff's. So these all are the IS code method. These all are the analytical approach to determine the bearing capacity of the soil. But after that, after covering the analytical approach to determine we have also solved some numerical problem which I have given in the mid-semester examination. You all people have also gone through the field methods to determine the bearing capacity. Number 1 is standard penetration test. What are the certain procedure taken in the field? What are the certain correction applied in a standard penetration test? After that, I have also talked about plate load test, how plate load test is carried, and what are the limitation of it, how cone penetration test is carried out in the field to determine the bearing capacity. So try to revise all these concepts. After that, I have discussed vertical stresses through Bouzinek's theory and Westergaard theory for point load, for line load, for strip load, for circular load, for square load, and Newmark's chart, your 2:1 vertical method. So you certainly what they actually do, they combine the problem of vertical stresses and bearing capacity to make numerical problem somewhat very good and somewhat tricky. So these two units are combined to us, and mostly you will get a question in engineering services from these two topics very rare, very frequently. So now I am starting the third unit. In third unit, we have to cover certain topics like settlement and proportioning of foundation element, importance and concept of settlement analysis, Types of settlement, tolerance limit, BIS specification for total and differential settlement of the footing and raft foundation, allowable bearing pressure, uh, factor influencing the selection of depth of footing, uh, and factor influencing the allowable bearing pressure, and factor influencing the choice of foundation. So today I will like to discuss foundation settlement. And students, I have shared some previous year gate question from unit 1, and I will be sharing the same from unit 2 also, to try to solve those questions, try to solve some question from engineering services examination, try to brush up your concept. And if you all people are having any problem, you feel free to ask whether and I would like to give some numerical problems which have previously came in gate from geotechnical engineering one part also, so that you all people should at least uh, be in position to solve the questions in the gate examination from the subject geotechnical engineering. So now we will start from foundation settlement. So what actually foundation settlement is? uh, Foundation settlement is the shifting of the foundation and the structure built upon it into the soil. This can cause damage to the structure whether the soil is moist or dry. Is central to the predicting the amount of settlement to accept in a given foundation. Areas with the moist soil will have more foundation settlement than dry areas. The idea is that as water is squeezed out from the soil, the structure will shift according to the empty spaces. The water left, the more water, the more the shift. Settlement. Number 1 settlement is immediate settlement. After that, primary consolidation and secondary consolidation. You all people might have gone through these terms in when you have gone through the chapter of consolidation. So what is immediate or elastic settlement? Occurs immediately after the construction. This is computed using elasticity theory, important for granular soil. Primary consolidation, due to gradual dissipation of the pore water pressure induced by the external loading and consequently expulsion of the water from the soil mass, hence volume change, important for inorganic soil. Secondary consolidation occurs at constant effective stress with the volume change due to rearrangement of the particles, important for the organic soil. For any of the above mentioned settlement calculation, we first need vertical stress increase in soil mass due to the net load applied to the. So this vertical stress calculation increase we have gone through this thing in unit 2. So total foundation settlement is equal to elastic settlement plus consolidation settlement. S total is equal to SE plus SC. Elastic settlement or immediate settlement depends upon the foundation type, whether it is rigid or flexible. Settlement location, center or corner. Elastic settlement follows the theory of elasticity, time dependent elastic settlement. And elastic settlement occurs in sandy, silty and clay soil. Consolidation settlement, it is a time dependent settlement. Consolidation settlement occurs in cohesive soil due to the expulsion of the water from the voids. Because of the soil permeability, the rate of settlement may vary from one soil to another soil. Also, the variation in the rate of the consolidation settlement depends on the boundary condition. S consolidation equal to settlement primary plus settlement secondary. Primary consolidation is equal to volume change is due to the reduction in the pore water pressure. Secondary consolidation, volume change is due to the rearrangement of the soil particles. No pore water pressure change, delta U is equal to 0, occurs after the primary consolidation. Expulsion you can see in the figure. This is water table, water expulsion of water voids. So this is the way how you all people can tabulate elastic settlement. These are some case histories with these photos. In these photos you can see how the building has been settled due to the settlement and the foundation. So this is a very catastrophic situation in case of structure. Actually, this is not an structural failure. This is a foundation failure. In this figure, you can clearly see the how this structure is being tilted due to the settlement in the foundation. In similar case, in the second picture, you can see the tilting of oil refineries. Oil refinery, actually these structure has very superstructure has got much load, and if any kind of settlement, let it be uniform settlement or differential settlement, these are going to create catastrophic failure. Sometime what happens, the whole buildings topple down due to such type of settlement. They not only tilt, sometime what happens, the whole building gets toppled down and destructed. One of the famous case of such type of settlement in the foundation is Leaning Tower of Pisa. It has settled due to differential settlement in the foundation. The whole structure has tilted due to the settlement in the foundation. Sometimes what happens, uh, the cracks develop in the building due to the settlement also. Due to the uniform settlement, you will find cracks in your buildings, cracks in your foundation element. Such type of cracks develops due to the differential settlement in the foundation element. Once the water permeate through the soil mass, and your soil is also settling down, so such type of activity can happen as shown in a figure. So I was talking about these types of cracks also developed in a building due to the settlement of foundation. These you can also see such type of cracks in your ceilings due to the settlement of foundation. Certainly this type of cracks develop in column of your building. So soft clay soil has settled, foundation has settled, and you can see the cracks in your plinth beam and in your brickwork also. You can find the settlement in your plinth beam and brickwork. So now I would like to discuss something about immediate settlement or elastic settlement. Immediate settlement concerns the initial pressure on the soil under and surrounding the foundation. It is immediate because it occurs during and right after the construction. It has nothing to do with the water displacement, but it is merely caused by the weight of the structure. In terms of building foundation, immediate settle is relatively easy to predict and measure. In many cases, given the nature of the soil, foundation are constructed with the ability to withstand certain amount of shift without damages. Damage usually occurs only in a long term as the shift slowly continues over the time. Immediate settlement takes place as the load is applied or within a time period of about 7 days, predominates in cohesionless soil and unsaturated clay. Immediate settlement analyses are used for fine grained soil including silt and clay with a degree of saturation less than 90%, and for all coarse grained soil with large coefficient of permeability, say above 10.2 meter per second. So you all people, I think, might be knowing such term degree of saturation and coefficient of permeability, as you all people has gone through geotechnical engineering one course. What is second, consolidation settlement is distinguished from immediate settlement both by duration of the settlement and by the displacement of water. Consolidation is the more worrisome form of settlements because it is difficult to predict over the months or year. Consolidation settlement is settling of a foundation over the time due to the pressure exerted by the structure and squeezes out of the water content of the soil, thus compressing it. Expulsion of the moisture from the soil usually is long-term process. Consolidation settlement are time dependent and take months to years to develop. The Leaning Tower of Pisa in Italy has undergoing consolidation settlement for over 700 years. The lean is caused by the consolidation settlement being greater on one side. This however is an extreme case. The principal settlement for most of the projects occurs in 3 to 10 years. Dominance in saturated slash nearly saturated fine grained soil. where consolidation theory applies. However, we are interested to estimate both consolidation settlement and how longer time it will take or most of the time settlement in occurs. So in consolidation chapter, you all people might have solved the numerical to determine the rate of consolidation and duration of consolidation. The rate of consolidation and amount of consolidation. So this the Leaning Tower of Pisa is a bell tower of the cathedral. Its construction was commenced in 1173 and continued haltingly over a period of 200 years. The tower began leaning soon after the construction began in 1173. The inclination of the tower is attributed to the non-uniform spongy-like saturated clay soil on which the foundation of the tower rests. The softer area within this strata has settled more, causing the tilt. Several engineers have proposed to strengthen the tower. However, with its 800 plus years of leaning history, locals do not want the tower to be straightened. Every few years, some form of restoration is performed to ensure the tower does not become unstable or collapse. Primary and secondary consolidation. Consolidation settlement has two components, primary and secondary. The former deals explicitly with the settlement caused by the soil moisture displacement and later deals with the elastic settlement after all movable water has been squeezed out of the soil. Primary consolidation is the most significant and potentially harmful for the two. Primary consolidation takes quite a bit of the time, from the weeks to layer. Secondary consolidation is the quicker result of the primary consolidation. Once primary has been completed and all the movable waters has been moved, secondary kicks in. Secondary consolidation occurs immediately after the primary and takes far less time to complete. After secondary consolidation is complete, the structure remains in its permanent position. As a result, many builders advise residents in a new homes to avoid repairing any settlement damages until secondary consolidation is complete, which is normally after the 2 years at most. Occurs under the constant effective stress due to the continuous rearrangement of the clay particles into a more stable configuration. Predominates in highly plastic clays and organic clays. Uniform settlement. Total settlement refers to the uniform settlement of the entire structure and occurs due to the weight of the structure and imposed load. When all points settle with the equal amount of settlement is called uniform. This is a kind of uniform settlement which you can see in figure. This is a tilt, this is non-uniform settlement. Definition of the differential settlement. Differential settlement refers to the unequal settling of the building piers or foundation that can result in damage to the structure. The damage occurs whether the foundation sinks in the different areas at the different times. Differential or uneven settlement can occur if the loads on the structure are unevenly distributed. Variation in the soil properties due to the construction related variation. Settlement limits. So students, I will discuss these things in the next lecture, settlement limits, and so try to solve some numerical problem on the settlement. As you all people have gone through the chapter of vertical stresses, you have gone through the chapter of consolidation, so you can easily solve some numerical problems which have came in GATE examination or engineering. So you will get the problems in Venkat Ramaiah book also and BC Punamia also. Very good numerical problems. You try to solve those numerical problems on immediate settlement, on primary consolidation, on secondary consolidation. So you will get number of problems, and after solving these problems you will come to know how actually things happens in the field, and go through some case studies related to such foundation settlement. That I have discussed one of the case studies of Leaning Tower of Pisa. There are many such structures which has failed due to uniform settlement of buildings. So thank you students. I will I would like to discuss other topics in next lecture.